Our next tool over is the gradient tool, and this allows you to paint in gradients. There are several variations on that. First off, you choose the gradient. Now by default it's going to take the foreground color and background color. Right now we have foreground, this kind of yellowy thing, and background is a white. Let's change our foreground color in here to a kind of a rich blue and going to a white. That's what I used basically behind those jets when we did that. So there's foreground to background. This is the default set of gradients. You also can do foreground color to transparent, or a black to white, or some specialty in here, red and green, violet to orange, blue, red, yellow, some specialty ones, kind of a chromey kind of a look, rainbow look. There are a lot more gradients to choose from. We have color harmonies in here. Color harmonies 2, metal looks, kind of noise sample looks. Let's just grab one of these. To put in a gradient, click and then drag like that, and then let go, and the gradient will fill into that position. Now the shorter your click and drag, the tighter the gradient is going to be. The longer the click and drag, the longer the gradient is going to be. If you want it to go clear to the outsides, click outside and drag to outside, and it will stretch clear to the outsides. There you go. If you have a transparency like we have back here behind this airplane, you can put your gradient in behind the airplane. Let's just go up and bring up our layers here. I'm going to add a new layer. Put that layer in behind the airplane. There we go. Let's come down. We'll choose a new gradient. Go to our default. I'll choose the foreground to background color in there. That's good. That's that one. And let's get rid of that window. Get them on that background layer, as you can see there. And I'm going to drag from the top down to the bottom down here. I'll go just off screen, and I'll drag straight down and let go. And that then fills in that gradient behind. So it's a much stronger color than we had before, much stronger sky. A little bit left in here from our playing around. We can take that out by changing our layer again. Go over to our plane layer, and let's grab our standard eraser, and I'll just erase that stuff out of there. Get rid of some of those little bits that are left that we don't want. Kind of clean up that edge right there. And we'll hide that background again. The layers rather. And there we go. We've now replaced the sky we had before, which is kind of a washed out sky, with a much stronger sky using just this gradient and just sticking it in behind. Of course, you can put anything you want in behind these things. If you want to use these gradients, just put another layer in here. I'll put a new gradient on that layer. Let's go back to our gradient tool right here. Let's choose, well, let's just choose one of these noise samples. I'll choose that one right there. That's not too bad. Double click. Put that in a slight angle. There we go. There it is with kind of a strange background gradient in behind. Kind of like that one a little bit better. So there we are. That's how to work with those gradients. Now you can edit these gradients if you want to. Just hide that layers again. Click on the edit button, and you then can come in and actually modify your gradients. Two basic types, noise or solid. Here's the noise type. You can adjust the roughness, smoother or rougher like that. You can click on randomize and get a whole random color. Just kind of click through until you find something you like, and then play around with the softness or roughness in here to get just the effect that you want for your gradient. And you then can come in, and if you want to add this into your preset, I'll call this one custom 1. I'll add it to my presets, and there it is. And I put it into the preset default section. I also can come in here and we can play around with these. I can take more red if I want to in there, or less red at the top. So you can play around with your controls as well to get just the effect you want. Let's go to solid. Now solid gradient has a few more controls in here. Smoothness is 100. I can go down to 35 or to 100 on that. we have up here a control handle and a control handle here, and down below we have a color handle and a color handle. Click on the color handle and you can choose your opening color. Looking at our standard color palette, and here let's just do a light blue. There we go, kind of a turquoise. Let's come down to this one. Double click on that. Let's choose a dark blue this time. There we go, so kind of a turquoise down to dark blue. I can then grab that color stop and move it around and adjust how much, the range of the gradient. I can also adjust the midpoint. Here's our midpoint of the gradient right there. I can make the midpoint over here closer to this one, or I can go closer to that, so it's real fast gradient here, then a much slower gradient in there. From this point on, it's solid color. From this point on, it's solid color. I can click and add another stop in here if I wanted to, and let's make this one white. There we go. Notice I again have a center point, so I can adjust my center point, or I can click on one of these and adjust that color again. Let's go a little more blue on these. There we go. So you have lots of controls in here on these things. Now down below here, this is going to control the start and stop points for your gradient. And as we have a center point on this as well. We're center point back and forth. You can play a little with your smoothness if you want to. And then if you find a gradient that you like, if you think this is working out well for you, give it a name. I'll call this one Custom 2. Click on Add to Preset, and there it is. There's our new gradient added into the preset. Choose OK. And I can now choose that preset right here from my preset list. You can edit those presets very specifically. You can reverse them, and it just reverses that preset. Let's just do one of those. Let's come in here to Layers. Let's put a new layer in here. There we go. And let's close that Layers down. There's our new gradient. I'll just go straight down. And there's that new gradient which we just created. So there it is. That's working with the gradient tool.